Grand Rising, Grand Rising, Grand Rising, everybody. It is your boy ABK, and thank you for checking out another one of my intraday / day trade analysis. Appreciate it. Let's go ahead and just hop right into it. I don't know why I can't speak, but anyways, so DXY. First of all, I had mentioned yesterday that if I do expect to see the DXY start to fall or drop to the downside, like how it's dropped, then I would expect for it to come down to this area. Although that's not necessarily what I wanted, because like I mentioned, I really just wanted prices to just continue going to the upside, because I would be more skeptical than anything if price came down over here, because it still hasn't necessarily made a higher high over here. Now that's not to say that it's not going to go bullish, but that's why I was mentioning that I'm not really necessarily looking for that. And even with that being said, just looking at what price had done when it came down over here, and I'm just gonna mark it off so I can see where it bounced off of when I zoom out. Yeah, just like basically the previous structure that was right here. So it came back over here, retested off of that, and pushed to the upside. So it's probably not going to come down over here, especially with these current bullish candles. This isn't necessarily a tweezer bottom, but I kind of consider it like, oh well, this is not even a tweezer bottom. This is just an engulfing bullish candle. So it's probably good to expect price to continue going bullish this morning. But what we can do, what can happen for sure is price can definitely double top right here and then push to the downside to come down over here. Now, I'm not expecting that. That's not what I'm feeling at all. Sorry, let me full screen this. That's not what I'm expecting at all. I'm really just expecting price to continue to the upside. Like, really. Which is perfect for my bias because I am bullish on the US dollar. So we shall see how this plays out for sure. Let's go ahead and go on over to EURUSD. Oh, wait, before I do that, let me go over to do arbitrage real quick. So same thing with arbitrage. Arbitrage is currently holding at price is currently, let me get rid of this fib real quick and this drawing. Arbitrage is holding at this upper danger zone right here, but it is over the RSI line. So once price is over the RSI line, that's when I'm like, okay, this is going to probably start going bullish. And since I was already looking for the bulls and I wasn't trying to sell off of this, I just mentioned that, it's dropping, so it's probably going to end up going down to where I wanted it to go. But once I start seeing that price is over the RSI line, that's when I'm like, okay, so once the compass line, this blue line over here, I'm sorry I don't have that marker that Peyton has. I'm definitely going to have to download something like that. But once I see this blue line cross over that RSI line, that's what's really going to trigger the sell, right? That's what's really going to trigger the buy on the 1 hour time frame on the DXY. The 4 hour time frame has already been bullish. It rejected off of the upper danger zone on the 4 hour time frame. So this is what I was thinking was going to happen for price to come down to the RSI line. And at this point, I don't think it is going to happen. I think price is just going to continue going bullish, and we're going to most likely expect something like this, which is what I am looking at for the daily time frame. Because as I mentioned on Sunday, we've already broken to the upside on the RSI line. Now I'm really starting to feel good and confident about the bulls. Level Pro is over ground zero, just waiting for, arbitrage Z right here is above ground zero, and the Level Pro is just below it. So I am feeling really good about this bullish DXY. And as Peyton mentioned yesterday, everybody is basically bearish on the DXY, which is a good idea for you to start doing the opposite, right? And overall, for the swing, price, like I mentioned on Sunday, price is at this buy box. Price is holding at this sell box area that I had mentioned that it could possibly drop from, but I'm not looking for that right now. I'm bullish on it, so let me even get rid of that. Don't want to manifest that. So that's for the DXY. Like I mentioned, I am bullish on it. 15-minute time frame real quick before I continue. Do kind of see a flag, although I don't like how this looks necessarily. If price holds here, then we could probably just end up like flagging out to the downside a little bit more and then pushing to the upside. But again, like I mentioned, I'm really not interested in that. I just want to see price go to the upside at this point. So there's really nothing to play here for me. I'm just gonna go ahead and be patient and you know, just be patient and wait. I'm not gonna try to get into anything with arbitrage because EURUSD already in this sell. Currently we are not even that much in drawdown, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, not that much in drawdown. Only about, where's price at? Like what, right here? Like we're only about 10 pips in drawdown right now, right? That's not terrible. And even when price was up here, like even when price came up to all the way over here, I wasn't sweating, I was tripping because I'm using proper risk management and I risked 1% of my account on this trade. So I had nothing to sweat about really. And I really wanted price to push up higher to, like I said, like I mentioned, like about, well, not, I didn't want it to because I'm already in the trade, but I wasn't afraid to go and drop like 0.5% if price came over here and then put my stop loss at 1.22254. I would not have been afraid if price came up here and did that because that's why I had marked up, right? But again, just like I mentioned with the DXY, I don't think that's going to happen. That 4 hour, this 4 hour candlestick is definitely looking like, oh, the buyers are exhausted and they're trying to like skedaddle. So that's why I'm just like, no, it's the same thing, like not tweezer tops necessarily, but this personally is good enough for me to consider a tweezer top. Now I'm not everybody else, and other people might think otherwise. So that's perfectly fine. The volume isn't really there, but it's not necessarily it's not the US session quite yet. We have how many more minutes left? We have 45 more minutes left until the DXY. I mean, until the New York session. So still has like three black rows. Like I'm bearish on it. Like this is just, I think our sells that we are in are gonna play out. So just hold your sells. 15-minute time frame on the other hand, if price were to go bullish, which I don't think it is, I'm just saying that right now, but if price were to go bullish, then I would know why it did, because I could be expecting, let me get rid of this real quick so that nobody gets confused. I could be expecting that price may come back down to this Fibonacci. Although this is not an impulsive move, price did go bullish for a potential trend change or trying to go bullish. But again, I don't think that that's going to happen. I think that price is going to continue to the upside. But if price rejects over here, what I could be looking for, and if you go into the lower time frames, if you get this possibility and you start to see some good price action, or if price, because like I said, price could literally turn around over here or come a little lower. It has a little range, and I'll draw the box back once I get here, once I done with this. But what I would do is look for a possible entry at like the likes of 1.21373, or it might, and just sell box in general, and then you could take that to the downside, right? That would be a solid potential entry if price is not gonna continue going to the upside, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and actually set that up. Add a horizontal rate. Because again, I don't think that price is gonna keep is gonna push to the upside anymore. But I could be wrong. Again, I could be wrong on that. I'm not 100% right all the time. That's why risk management is key. But this is the play that I would be looking for. 11 pip stop loss. And then 45 pip gain for a cool intraday trade. Gonna see what arbitrage is looking like. If based off of arbitrage, I could tell you probably right now that it's probably not gonna happen, but we'll see how that goes. 15-minute time frame. I do like this play right here because and again, let me draw this out real quick. Let me draw these zones out. Well, I don't need to draw my zone out right now. I already have the trade set up, so I'm just gonna delete this. And I'm going to have this set up. As just an area of interest. Not really caring. Like I said, I'm not bullish on the DXY. I don't even think that price is going to come up here any longer. But if it does, this is a good intraday opportunity that I'm going to be watching for. Daily time frame, just like I mentioned on Sunday. This was actually perfect. Price did actually come up to the RSI line and reject off of the RSI line and upper danger zone. It didn't go deep into the upper danger zone, and it came a little bit short from where I would have tried to get in on arbitrage. So unfortunately, I didn't get into that. It came a little bit short. I should have been paying attention to that yesterday, but it's all right. Oops, go back. And that was the RSI line retest on the 4-hour time frame. This looks like a morning star. A shooting evening star. Sorry, can't speak. Evening star that's about to play out. So EURUSD, so many confirmations telling me it's about to sell. 1-hour time frame, it's about to close under the RSI line. Another sign that it's potentially about to sell. I know the 30-minute and 15-minute already selling, or 30 minutes about to call for the sell, but I don't look at that. 15 minutes already selling. So 1-hour time frame is what I'm going to be watching for. I already have my exit set, and once that exit plays out, then we're good to go. But again, this could play out. This could definitely happen, but I don't think it will. And just to make sure, before I continue, I know I'm taking a little longer than I usually do on Tuesdays, but just to make sure, let me go on to Forex Factory to make sure that there is no... Yeah, there is USD news. Okay, so there is retail sales news, like in a couple minutes, like in a few... 6:20. It's gonna be like in an hour, basically. So you do want to watch out for that DXY news. I just wanted to make sure. I'm like, there's a lot of news this week. So yeah, AUDUSD. So as I had mentioned previously, AUDUSD was a pair that I was not going to try to get into until it breaks these lows, and I stand by that. And it looks like that's gonna happen. It looks like price is gonna. It looks like this is a bearish flag on the 4-hour time frame that could definitely just like break to the downside. Just really needs to do something like that. Lower time frame, then I'll feel much better to get into AUDUSD. Well, not from this bearish flag. Like, I've already decided that I need to wait for a real bearish push. I don't want price to just bounce off of down here, because then I'm gonna be really skeptical about it. So AUDUSD, nothing's really changed for me. I just want price to drop down, because like as of right now, what does this look like? It looks like price just came to grab this liquidity, then push to the upside, retest. It looks like it can still go bullish. So I'm still waiting on AUDUSD to play out. Not gonna rush into it, not gonna get into it or anything like that. Although I do see 1-hour time frame is already called for the sell, so that's a good sign. 4-hour time frame, it's been bearish. That's another good sign. Daily time frame has been bearish, has not called for the sell. For the buy. And the weekly time frame is starting to set up, but again, on the weekly time frame, I do need this structure to break in order for me to be completely bearish on AUDUSD. So with that being said, Just leaving AUDUSD alone, not really concentrating on it. USDCHF. Alright, USDCHF 4-hour time frame. With this wick, although I wanted price to come back down here real quick, just for me to get another possible entry, with this wick that I'm seeing, I don't think that's going to happen. I really don't think that's going to happen. Same thing as with EURUSD. We have 3 white shoulders right here. Price is probably just going to end up pushing to the upside. It looks like it's already going bullish. I don't think that it's going to turn around. And if it does, same thing you could try to play out. Although I don't think it's, again, I don't think that's going to be the case where you could just push to the downside like 0.89738 and continue to the upside. And I repeat, I don't think this is going to happen. Price looks like it's just, look, the price is already, you know what, I'm not even going to put it because price is already just moving to the upside. So there's no point in that. If it does end up turning around, then hey, that's cool, right? But yeah, USDCHF going bullish to the upside like how I wanted it to do. And last week, I mean yesterday, I said Sunday, sorry, I had mentioned for the arbitrage users that price is called bullish. You want to wait for that retest for the continuation, and then yeah, just I'm bullish on USDCHF. I'm waiting for this to play out on the daily so that I can be really bullish on it. 1 hour time frame. Arbitrage users, if you do want to get in once this candle closes, you can. It's not my style at all. This is not my type of trade to get into, so just know that. Let me just look at the 2 hour. Yeah, it's already all said and done. So there's no trade opportunity here for me to get into. I'm already in USDCHF as I mentioned, so it's just, yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at this VIX real quick. So Payne had mentioned that and I agree with him 100% that with prices this low, and I'm gonna start. You know what? There we go. So with prices this low, I can't necessarily be. I can't be bullish on the indices because price is just too low for my liking. Although the price action is definitely showing on the weekly time frame that yes, it can potentially drop lower. However, with it holding at this supply zone at this low, especially where it's holding gap, because if I'm really going to be fair, from this bullish push, if you were to have, let's say that if you were to get into a potential very long-term trade on the VIX, price still has not hit your stop loss. if I'm gonna be fair and say Fibs is life and stuff like that, right? So that's something that I'm really still looking at with the VIX overall, right? Let's go on to the 1 hour time frame, see what it's done. So I like this wick that I'm seeing to the downside, and yes, I do know that these are Heikin-Ashi candles, and there's a lot of people who don't know about Heikin-Ashi candles. Probably will. It's just another version of candlesticks that I use, basically, right? And so I like, and then, like I said, if I were to put regular candlesticks, you'll see that the wick is still here. So I like seeing that this wick to the downside happened. What I would probably want to see from this is a retracement down to 15.63 or 15.82 for a possible push to the upside looking at the VIX, right? And so with me having this bias on the VIX, let me go ahead and switch over now to the actual US indices. And first of all, let me go to RB real quick. 1 hour. I don't like how RB be looking with this, so let me go ahead and switch this over. That's much better. I like that bullish pressure on those yellow candles. Let me look at arbitrage real quick on the VIX, because that's something I don't really necessarily do. This is the pre-open, basically, or yeah, the pre-open of the market. Been bearish 4 hour, 30-minute time frame. I'm pretty sure is bullish. Yeah, so let's see what the VIX does. I'm not mad at this 15.63. Let me see where. Oh, that's all the way down here, huh? 15.82 won't be bad. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens on the VIX. I'm actually gonna set an alert there. Why not? I don't think it might get hit, but great. Let's see what happens. All right, so S&P. Let me make sure there's nobody looking in the chat. Okay. Oops. All right, so S&P. We have it making higher highs. I don't understand it, man. This is exactly why I don't want to play these indices. Let me just clear everything out and look at this from a intraday point of view. So, price made a higher high yesterday, and then it's just stopped at 4,266.4. It's the highest S&P has ever been, as you can see here. So with the S&P, I just have to wait for a heavy bearish presence in order for me to get into it. Like I could say all along that, oh, 15-minute time frame, if I want to try to sell this, I'm gonna wait for 4,263 to get hit. No, that's way too risky. I need to see a very bearish impulsive move, right? 4,263. I'm gonna mark it out, but I'm not gonna play it because, again, way too risky for me to try to play, right? And if I go over here onto arbitrage, then I'm pretty certain that 30-minute time frame is still bullish. 1 hour time frame is still bullish. Everything else is still bullish. So I'm not gonna play S&P. The Dow Jones is just again, it's the way how the cryptos are really just moving together, right? Not the cryptos. The US indices are not moving all together. That's what's got me really trippy right now. And when it comes to US 30, let me go ahead and remove this because this is irrelevant. Yes. So when it comes to US 30, right? I think Payton had mentioned that he wanted to see a play like this, if I'm not mistaken. Was it? Yeah, play like this. It barely missed his entry at 30, like up here, 34,484. It barely missed it, but even with that, same thing with price holding at this structure that I have it at. I'm going to the daily time frame, if I'm not mistaken. It still is holding at this structure right here, and so again, I don't feel comfortable trying to buy and or sell these indices at all. It's just not for me. It's not my market to play in. I'd rather play in the Forex and crypto markets rather than this right now. And NASDAQ, same thing. NASDAQ is making higher highs. It's at all-time highs. So when I'm seeing stuff like that, that's just a sign for me. Everybody else can trade them. That's cool. I would probably lose my money if I were to try to trade this, right? Because I mean, well, if I would have gotten into this, I wouldn't have lost my money. But you guys get what I'm trying to say, though. It's like I'm not invested into this market right now. Like, this is extremely bullish. If I go into the Dow Jones is probably going to be, look at this, yeah, like from this drop and then the way how price just bounced back up, I'm not certain that price is going to keep falling. 1 hour time frame, price had broken out, retesting, holding at the lower danger zone. It looks like to me it's going to buy. I'm just saying, so I can't play this. Arbitrage users, you can get into the buy if you want with this. This is not something that I am invested in, like I said. All right, USD Mexican. Let's look at these tacos, man. All right, so USD Mexican. Same thing with the US dollar, basically. I wanted price to push down to the downside where the supply zone I have marked up is, or demand zone, sorry, I have marked up is, but it never did come back down, and it's probably just gonna keep going to the upside, just like the dollar. So with that being said, I'm gonna just, yeah, not be in this. 1 hour time frame never gave the sell, so that's another reason why I never really looked at it last night. 4 hour time frame gave the buy, it never gave the retest though, so I couldn't have gone into it regardless. But the daily time frame, it is starting to look like it's gonna close over the RSI line, which I love to see. It called for this buy, then it called for a sell shortly after. Now once I get that buy, I'll be more confident that USD Mexican will go bullish. So with that being, and of course on the weekly time frame, it is holding here at this lower danger zone right here. This is the lower danger zone. It's holding there, using it as a support. So I love seeing that on the weekly as well. Potential push to the upside on USD Mexican is in play. And like I said on Sunday, the swing, if you really look at it in that point of view, then USD Mexican hasn't really necessarily hit stop loss. So that's for tacos. I don't have any opportunity to get into it though. Like everything is like maybe not move. It's not gonna get where I need it to get to. All right, let's take a look at gold, Mr. Goldilocks. Okay, so before I look at this, I just want to point out that on this swing, gold is still playing out. It is still holding at my fib level between 1898 and 1850. It is still holding out on those levels. Daily time frame, I don't care for how that gold candle closed. It basically touched the 50 EMA, but I feel like this wick is going to get filled up. That's just my personal opinion on that. 4 hour time frame. I love this bearish push to the downside, but I'm not really crazy over, well, this is the candle that had a little volume, but I'm not crazy over the fact that this candle is the one that had more bullish volume, more volume than all these other candles. So a possible push to the upside on gold is possible. It's very much possible. Let me see what I was looking for. Not that. Was it this over here? No, not that one. Okay, so what I was looking at for this to possibly be a play, and Peyton was saying the same thing, was that gold could possibly make this bullish move, come back down to like the likes of 1852, and then push to the upside. He wanted 1850, I'm pretty sure, but this is something that could definitely be happening. And like I mentioned, big volume with this big candle. Yeah, that's actually looking more like a buy to me than anything. So I would have to wait for this on gold to play out. And what I wanted to point out was that this could possibly be what had happened from this push. So from this low, and price made this push to the upside. Price could have easily been hitting 1850, which is the fib, the 61.8 fib, and then it could just push to the upside right here, right now. So that's something to definitely watch for. Just because this is interfering with my overall swing idea, I can't necessarily buy gold, and like I said, I still do have the impression that price can push up to like the likes of 1992 and stop people out and then push to the downside. I still do believe that is a huge possibility. So gonna be patient on gold. I'm not really that active on gold. Other thing, daily time frame, it's setting up for a sell, but it's not there yet. So I'm like, I gotta be patient and wait, right? 4-hour time frame called for the sell, but this is not my type of setup. I don't like how price is down this low. Hold on, give me a second. Deviations. So yeah, price that comes down to the third deviation. Now it's at the second deviation. I'm just gonna have to be patient and wait, you know. So 1-hour time frame, it's calling for a buy. I like this for a possible buy, but if I were to trade it, if I were to trade this, I like this for a possible buy. I like seeing green candles. That's for me to say that, okay, there might be bullish pressure, but there's not full confirmations there yet. If I were to trade this, this would be the only way I could trade it. For now, I'd probably set it up like this, put my stop loss down here at like have a 55 pip stop loss, and be like, all right, if price gets there, then I'm probably just gonna chill and wait for the possibility of price coming down to like the likes of, where did I say over here again? Like 1850. And then once price gets to 1850, then what I'll, like, let's say if I was risking 0.5% here, then I'd risk 1% down here. Something like that, you know? So that I risk a total of 1.5% on this trade setup, because it's two different setups, but that's what I would do on gold. So arbitrage users, I'm gonna go ahead and set this exit long exit all once per bar close. I'll do it only once actually, so that I can get the warning before it actually closes, and then I'll be like, hey guys, if you got into this gold buy, then I would suggest to get out or something like that. You know, I like the gold idea, the gold buy idea, because regardless, even if gold was to sell, I would still need price to come up to, let's see, how low did it go? Let me see. I would really got price to come up to like 1880, 1886 regardless, before I get into a sell on gold. So again, I like the buy idea, but I would rather buy just to sell at this point, because I don't know, I'm just not a huge, I don't think that gold is going to stay this bullish, because although yes, times are definitely interesting right now, if you will, it's been so long since gold has been up at these highs. Gold has just hit all-time highs from what it was back in 2011. So I'm not sure how long this is going to maintain up here, because if you look to the left, just look at the same way how gold, when it started to go bearish, how it went. Once it came to these highs, came down, then it did a triple top basically, which is kind of what I think might happen right here. When I'm seeing this liquidity, price dropped, pushed up once, dropped one time, pushed up again, dropped again. It could come up to the supply zone one more time and then end up falling once more. So I'm just looking at it like oh, history repeats itself kind of thing, you know? Like, and technical analysis is also pointing towards a potential downside move. So overall, like I said, if I were to try to get into gold for a sell, I would need 1886 to come back before I try to get in. But I do like this idea to buy gold right here, right now. With this short stop loss, you can even have it a little longer, like 73 pips, so that you can be a little safer. But whichever floats your boat, right? Bitcoin is looking bearish on the 1 hour time frame on arbitrage. I'll get to that. So Bitcoin, same thing, guys. Nothing's really changed on Bitcoin. Let me just put this to up a little higher. Price did push higher and respected the zone that I mentioned, and I'm still looking for the same thing. I still want price to push to the downside, come to like 36,000, 37,000, and then go bullish. Like, I'm still feeling the same way. Nothing's changed. 1 hour time frame, like I mentioned, it is about to call for a sell arbitrage users, you can look for that opportunity to short if you want to. I'm not gonna try. I'm looking to sell. I'm looking to buy Bitcoin more than sell it, so I'm not gonna try to get into this sell. 4-hour time frame, it definitely needs that retracement. It is at the upper, at the 2 deviations, so we can see a very good retracement possibility going on. But daily time frame, on the other hand, is right at the RSI line and the lower danger zone. So with that being said, be careful when you're trying to sell. I'm only looking for the retracement because I am starting to be bullish on Bitcoin. Ripple isn't looking too great, to be quite honest. Although the trade that I did give out on my channel did play out very nicely, I don't like seeing this wick to the upside and then seeing this bearish movement. But I am still feeling the same. Way about Ripple, how I feel about Bitcoin. Would just want the retracement back down to like 86 or 85 cents. I'm gonna set my alert right here. Let me go back to Bitcoin and do that as well. I'm gonna push this up a little higher. 37,000, so I can be aware. And yeah, I'm just looking for the same thing. Bullish push to the upside. Daily time frame is setting up. It's not there. It's not quite there yet at all by any means, but it is setting up. So remove drawings. See how that plays out. 4-hour time frame. Ooh, I like this. Okay, 4-hour time frame. We finally got a buy call. Yeah, if I can get price to push down a little lower, it'd probably come down to like I said, like 85, 86 cents. That'd be around here. That'd be a solid place for me to look for a buy possibility. 1-hour time frame is starting to call for a sell, but I'm looking for the retracement. I'm not necessarily going to sell, but again, if you would like to go ahead, just make sure you put your stop loss above the previous highs if you were to sell. And then Litecoin went bonkers, man. From this buy box right here, really went bonkers. Broke out through this structure. Same thing, guys. Although it did come up here for kind of double top? Question mark? Is it a double top? Let me see. Yeah. Although price did come up here for a double top type of action, I do like the idea of same thing with Ripple. Price coming back to like 166 or something like that, then push to the upside. That would be fire for a entry. Let me go ahead and get rid of this stuff over here because it's irrelevant right now. So yeah, I like this possibility on Litecoin as well, but I'm more focused on the other cryptos, but yeah. And Ethereum, another one that played out perfectly. This played out so nicely. I'm actually gonna watch this because this was a sell box that I remember that price never came up to, and it's finally hit. And it's got, well, did it? Yeah, it basically hit. So I'm kind of watching to see what Ethereum does here. I'm kind of interested, not necessarily quite bullish on it on here. I see the price action. I see the volume. I'm definitely loving the bulls. And if I were to try to get into a buy on Ethereum, it'd be down here like at 2,400 or 2,435. Just saying. But I'm not crazy over how it's stopping at this 61.8 right now. And 1-hour time frame isn't setting up for a buy yet, but I mean it is starting to line up for a sell, but it's still bullish right now. 4-hour time frame is definitely bullish. I wanted this retracement for a continuation, honestly, but that didn't happen. And the daily is still very much bearish, but I like how it bounced off the lower danger zone. So cryptos, like I said, I'm gonna wait for that retracement before I try to get into them, right? So going over to the GBPs, GU There we go. All right, GU is starting to make that push to the downside heavy. Yikes. All right, so that's cool. I love seeing this. Now I could be bearish on GU confidently. Now I could be like, okay, now I wait for the retracement, continuation to the downside. So no play here. I'm loving what I'm seeing. It's already been done. Daily time frame, same thing. Loving what I'm seeing, already been done. Waiting for that retracement, as I've been talking about, and then we'll get there, right? GBPAUD, or are the GBPs dying? They might be. The GBPs might be dying right now. All right, so GA never got the opportunity to get prices to come up here, so it is what it is. Price fell to the downside. We'll be waiting for further confirmations, right? GBPJPY. All right, so my previous entry, I had already gone out this trade. Like once I saw price was right here, I said, okay, I'm out. Peyton had talked about this, but the way how price dropped, you might want to be careful with that. You definitely want to be careful with how this is playing out. But like I mentioned, I had already taken my trade profits, so I'm good with that. Position 2 is gone. And what he had mentioned was, hey, price can just literally climb up, push to the downside, retrace, and then come back to the upside. So definitely looking for buy opportunities here. Like, although my stop loss just got hit at break even, my first position is still intact. And the volume, let me see what it's looking like down here, is not really that crazy either. So I'm just gonna see what price is going to do at my like, I'm looking to buy over here, like, really, because I'm still bullish on this. But how long can you be bullish on a market that looks like it's overextended, right? Maybe this is the sells that we're looking for, because with GU falling like how it did, I'm just like, okay, that's good. That's a good sign to say that this might fall. And likewise with you, I'm pretty sure EG is probably looking very similar. Daily time frame on GJ is not there yet, so I can't say that I'm gonna. I can't confidently say I'm gonna buy it. I mean sell it, but same thing here. The signs are all showing that it's gonna go bearish. Yeah, I'm probably gonna end up just getting out of my sell on GJ regardless and take the profits that I have, or like I said, wait a little bit, see what price action does, and possibly get into a buy here. But again, how long are you going to be bullish in a market that already looks like it's overextended? You have to think about those things as well. So with this buy right here, I don't like the way how price came up here. So I would have to wait for like 5-minute time frame type of price action from it to tell me that, okay, maybe it's a good time to get into your buy now. But it is in my buy area, and I'm still in this trade. So let's see what happens. And EG take profit, like I had mentioned in the chat. This was a good call right here. No need to try to get into another trade. It's already done what we needed to do. Arbitrage 1 hour played out nicely. 4 hour time frame. It's already, like, again, not looking for the 4 hour on there. And the daily time frame, it's bullish. I like the bullish candle right here, but I'm not really crazy over how price is still calling for sales on the daily. So I'm gonna have to be patient on EG for now. So it's like the GBP pairs is kind of a, okay, I gotta wait and see what happens type of thing. But this was a clean play on EG. I hope people are able to capitalize off of it. And with that being said, is there any other pairs that anybody needs me to take a look at? Let me look at the chat, make sure there's nothing. Nothing? I gotta wait because I know there is a little delay. Let me look at this GJ. Alright, well, if there is no, I like seeing this right now, but it's a little too early to tell, like I mentioned. But alright, if there is no other questions, guys, then GJ is what I'm really looking at right now, to be quite honest, because again, it's a pair that I want to see keep going bullish. But how long are you going to be bullish in a overextended bullish market? You got to think about that. So I'm going to be watching for this, but I'm out of here, guys. Thank you for checking out my intraday/day trade setups analysis. We didn't get a lot of setups, but we've already had moves that have been profitable, and so that is a good thing. And so let me see what EURUSD is talking about. Yep, this is probably, looks like I said, this is probably gonna end up dropping. USDCHF is probably gonna end up going bullish. Gold, let me see what it's looking like right here on this move. I love seeing green candles, like I mentioned, and I love how it's rejecting off of here. So yeah, it looks like we're all good, guys. With that being said, I'm out. Later, y'all.